Hey guys, we're in Pärnu. I've been in Pärnu multiple times before. There's like a 12-year video, a video I made 12 years ago that has me shopping for dolls in Pärnu. So today we're gonna have a look at some dolls at local toy shops. And I was thinking that we could see what's the oldest doll that we can find in a store that's not like a second-hand store, because I'm guessing we're gonna be able to find some pretty old dolls based on what I've seen here before. So first we're gonna check out this store behind me. So I wanted to clarify the rules I had set for this a bit, just because I felt I wasn't clear enough in the intro. So first off, we are only visiting stores that only sell new in-box toys, new in-box dolls, toy shops that only have new dolls. So we're not looking at second-hand shops or thrift stores. This isn't a thrifting video. Secondly, I'm only focusing on the doll lines that I usually focus on in my videos. So Winx dolls, Barbie dolls, Mattel, fashion dolls in general. Just because these are the dolls I have the most knowledge of, so I'm actually able to spot older dolls as well. And thirdly, this video is only about the city of Pärnu. But if you want to see this kind of content in other cities, let me know. I did pick Pärnu for this specifically because Estonian small towns tend to have really fun and really old dolls still on shelves. So with all of that in mind, we are starting at Lastemalm. Lastemalm does actually have two branches in Tallinn as well, but one of them has no toys and the other one has a very limited toy selection. I know that the ones in Pärnu, there are two of them here, have a much larger selection, and they have this weird selection of bootleg dolls, like you can see the bootleg Wednesday doll and loads of bootleg Barbies, and actual official licensed dolls, and they're all kind of piled together. So first off, I spotted this fashionista number 82 and then this fashionista number 76, and I think they're from roughly the same line. They are both from 2018. That was a pretty good start, if I do say so myself, because that means that those dolls have been on those shelves for 8 years. So after some sushi, we headed on to Karupakbuh in Port Arthur. And we also have Karupakbuhs in Tallinn, but they have a pretty fun selection and sometimes they have stuff that other stores don't have. Not in this Karupakbuh, however. I would say that the Monster High and Barbie selection was pretty usual. They did have some pretty old fashionistas here as well. You can see the one in braces is numbered 197, which is from 2022. So it's not as old, but still pretty old. These ones had these really cool reusable cases that were sort of like pencil cases. And they also had some pretty unusual bootleg dolls, so I filmed those as well. Then we headed on to Moon Kids, which is a store exclusive to Pärnu and exists only in Pärnu. And I was shocked to see that they have a really low Google reviews rating, apparently because of the service there. But they have really unique dolls, so personally I have always had a really good experience there. And they did also have some fashionistas from 2022 in those little reusable packages. And they also had a Disney Princess Tiana by Hasbro. And if you know anything about the Disney Princess doll line, you might know that Hasbro hasn't had the license to make them for quite a while now. They lost it to Mattel again. So this doll is from 2021. They also had the My First Barbie large sets, one of them with clothes, which I haven't seen anywhere else. Then they also had some Lottie clothes. They also used to sell Lottie dolls, but not anymore. So it seemed that the first Lastemalm was gonna win with the oldest doll, but there was another Lastemalm in another Port Arthur, so we headed on to the other Lastemalm, and it was there where my friend noticed some Shopkins. But I wanted to check out the fashion dolls, and it was there that we found this Barbie Dreamtopia Sweet Will princess doll that lights up, and she is from 2017. And honestly, I was kind of tempted to get her just because she's that old. And they also had this Mattel Disney Princess Glitter and Light Cinderella, and she is from 2014. She's been on that shelf for 12 years. They also had this Dreamtopia fairy from 2018 and a bunch of these fake Barbies still. One of them really caught my eye because for a second I thought that they actually had one of the really early fashionistas. If they did, I would have totally gotten her, but no, she's just a fake of the really early fashionistas. Then we decided to go to another mall that's a little further away. Today was very misty, very foggy, and we decided to go to Kaupamajakas and check out the Yuku there. They had a pretty good selection there, loads of Monster High, loads of Miraculous dolls, but nothing I hadn't seen in Tallinn, pretty similar to the selection in Tallinn. Nothing super old in terms of Barbies and fashionistas either. So of course, because Yuku is the only store that sells Winx dolls in Estonia, I wanted to check out their Winx Club selection. And as you can see, it was very small. They had some of the iconic dolls and some of the Beauty Pop dolls and some of the fairy dolls, mostly Blooms. I only saw Bloom, Flora and Stella in general in a variety of different styles. Didn't really see the other fairies. Obviously only the iconic and the fairy line have the other fairies. But yeah, the Beauty Pop one also had Flora and there was also the iconic Stella, but there were loads of Blooms. Then we went on to visit the XS Mango I said at the same mall, and this XS was actually really small. Their selection was pretty tiny, you can see it here, nothing of huge note. And that brings us to the end of our shopping trip. So the oldest doll we found was the Cinderella from 2014. Did you enjoy this kind of scavenger hunt shopping video where we try to find the oldest doll? Would you like me to do this in other cities as well? If you would, then let me know in the comments or just leave this video a like and check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you in the next one.